Hey, Tyann, Tyann, are you there?
I'm here. Sorry.
No, I just wanted to say you'd already started. It looks like you're all good, I think. So,
Yeah, I had it muted because I'm just heating up my tea. My throat is killing me. So,
oh, well,
uh,
no, that's okay. I
that's
just saw you're good. So I just wanted to drop
yeah,
by and make sure that everything's thumbs
yeah,
up. So, okay,
yeah.
cool.
Thank you, Scott.
Have fun.
All right, thanks, here.
Bye.
Bye. Good afternoon. This is Tigan from TimeSolv, and I will be doing the Wednesday webinar for everybody. I'm just going to give us, looks like there's only 3 people currently here. So we're just going to give us a few more minutes and let some people file in. So just sit patiently. We're going to start at about like 102, 103. All right. Thank you. Good afternoon. I want to welcome everybody to the Wednesday webinar. My name is Tyann Stout. I'm the director of the sales and support team here at TimeSolv, and we're going to get started. So I'm going to be handling the Wednesday webinars moving forward. So I'm so excited to have everybody here. And I will not forget this time to do a Q&A at the end of the webinar. I appreciate everybody that emailed me last time and gave me kudos and reminded me to make sure to include the Q&A. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen with everybody, and then we can get started. So I hope everybody is able to see my screen, and I do have the chat pulled up so I'm able to see everybody here. So we're going to cover some of the tips, the weekly tips that have been put out there in the last few weeks. That's what today's Wednesday webinar is about. So the first tip is regarding TimeSolv pay. I don't know if everybody is aware of the fact, because people have been with us for a long time, we actually do have the ability now to accept credit card and ACH payments directly into TimeSolv. This is a function that a lot of people in the past had to use LawPay and connect that with us. And then there's that monthly fee for your LawPay services. It's actually part of your TimeSolv services. There's no additional monthly fee. And you're going to be able to process everything directly inside TimeSolv. So first things first, I want to just show you inside TimeSolv. Can everybody see my screen, by the way? Can somebody type in the chat and let me know that you can see my screen? I hope. Okay, thank you guys. So at the top here under payments, and then you can go to settings. Once you go into settings, under bank accounts, this is where you have all the bank accounts that your firm would have. You can have multiple bank accounts, multiple trust accounts, multiple operating accounts. It's usually recommended to only have one of each, but I do have several because this is a test environment for me. And then the third tab over here says TimeSolv Pay. Now I'm already linked to TimeSolv Pay. If you go to this page inside your TimeSolv and you're not connected, it's going to be a nice like little splash page, and it's going to say get started. If you click on that get started button, that's exactly where you can fill out your application and then we can start getting to get you set up and you can start using the service. So I do want to go over the benefits of TimeSolv Pay and why it's so great to have it in your system. A huge thing that is very popular for attorneys is having the ability to have a trust account or an IOLTA account, retainer account. This is so you can collect prepayment of your services. And it helps protect you to make sure that you are collecting for the work that you're doing. That's why a trust account was originally designed. However, in today's day and age, we have better ways of doing that. And so much in our society has went to auto billing. You put a card on file and everything is auto billed. You have the ability to do that with TimeSolv Pay directly in the system. So once you're set up here and you have a TimeSolv Pay account and you link it to your operating and your trust account, I'm just going to go over some of the benefits and how this can help you. If you go under clients and matters, here's a list of all of your clients and matters. Everybody's familiar with this. If you click on a client or a matter right here in the list, there's a tab now that says payment settings. This is where I can enter my client's credit card or bank account information. I do believe I have it already set up on one of these. Let me go in here and take a look here. The nice thing about this is after it's set up, you're not going to be able to display all that information, so somebody in your firm could not compromise somebody else's account. Okay, if that was even a concern. So now that you've added a credit card or a payment option on file, you do have the ability to run what we call is a zero AR type of firm. What that means is we have law firms that are sending out their engagement letter, and your engagement letter would say, thank you for choosing my firm to handle all your legal needs. Part of our process is that we ask that you retain or give us a credit card to retain on file. We will send you a monthly invoice. You have 10, 15, 20 days, whatever amount of time you want to review and pay your invoice. At the end of those 10 days, as long as you have not disputed any charges and the invoice still remains unpaid, then we will process the payment to the credit card or bank account that you currently have on file. So you would run your invoice, let's say on December the 1st. 10 days later, because you've already collected everybody's banking or credit card information and put it in the system here, 10 days after you run those invoices, you're going to go to invoices and sent. And then you're going to be able to see anybody that has open balances here. And you can select those invoices here, and you can push this charge button. Once you push charge, all the invoices are charged. It's recorded in your TimeSolv account. All the payments are automatically recorded inside TimeSolv. The money gets deposited in your bank and you're paid. You essentially take the firm from running on holding this AR that you carry every single month to zero AR because you're auto billing people. This is an option and one functionality that's available if you had TimeSolv Pay hooked up and set up on the account. If anybody has questions on any of the information regarding TimeSolv Pay, just shoot us an email. You can shoot an email support@timesolv.com, and we'll be more than happy to get on a meeting with you, help you fill out the application, answer any questions you have, go over all of that with you right on that meeting. So this is a really big, important feature that I wanted to kind of highlight. You guys probably have gotten emails regarding it because we have been marketing this and pushing it out there. But it is really, really important because ultimately your firm is in business to make money. And, this ensures a way for you to collect on the work that you're doing. So it's a great feature. It works great, especially if you're in like family law or something like that. If you're doing a lot of insurance billing, you're probably not the type of firm that's going to need that, but it is available and you can use it. The other things that are available with the credit card processing is you don't necessarily have to do the zero AR. Maybe you just want to have the ability to send out your invoices and let your clients pay you directly online. you can do that without running the zero AR. So once it's set up, you would send your invoice to your client. Your client would get the invoice. And I believe I have a sample on my computer somewhere that I can show you. And then they would be able to click a button and pay the invoice directly online. Okay. So let me just pull this over so I can show you. So here's an invoice sent out of my system using the portal. And you can see here the invoice is attached at the top. And it says, please, dear client, please click here to view your invoice. Once I click there, it's going to take me into the portal. And then you can see the invoice and the total amount owed. The client has the ability to click on that invoice there, and then they can pay via bank account or credit card. So just because you decide to, or like let's say you wanted to use TimeSolv Pay, but necessarily didn't want to go with the zero AR, you still have that functionality to be able to use this portal, get them connected, and then they're able to make their payments online. The other nice feature of this is, have you ever had that client call in and they want to make their payment and they're on the phone and they want to pay that with their credit card? You can go to payments and payments here, and you can do a on-demand credit card payment for anybody. So I can say manual entry. I can put in the amount. And when I go to save this, it's going to bring up the credit card information box, or I can then just plug in the credit card information or the bank account information and collect that payment that way. So these are really great features. I wanted to touch base on this. I know you guys have probably been inundated with our TimeSolv Pay information, but I did want to go over it with everybody one more time, let you know it's available. It's at no cost to you unless you use it. There's no monthly fees, nothing like that. If you have any questions, we'd be more than happy to help you with that. support@timesolv.com is our email address. Reach out and we'll be able to help get that set up, walk you through the application, whatever. So moving on. This is something that a lot of people are not probably familiar with. It's a newer feature inside TimeSolv. We have the ability now to set up custom fields. This is super fantastic, guys. We have not had this in a long time, or we didn't have this previous. And so many people want to be able to have a custom field. So at the top in blue where it says clients, and then you go to settings, you're going to see a tab over here to the right that says custom fields. These can be built out however you want to build them out. You can build them out on the client level, the contact level, the matter level. You can even select matter groups. There's all kinds of ways that you can build these out. Okay, the most popular is going to be your matter level. As you can see here, I've set a couple up. One has an actual drop down right here, sorry. And one is a text area. What does that mean? That means I can add a new custom field and I can name it however I want. And then I can select how I want, what I want to display in this. So this custom field, for instance, if I wanted to build out a custom field for location, that would be a good one. Okay, and I selected location, and I want it to be this to be a drop down. And in that drop down, I want to say I am in Philadelphia or PA. I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm in West Virginia. I'm in Ohio. Or I am in New York. Okay. And I can make this default value anything I wanted. Okay. And then I would say save on this. So now, if I was to go to a client or matter, On the matter level, I could go to these custom fields and I could potentially assign. This one's already got one set up. So this probably wasn't a good one to do. Right here, the location for this matter as to where it's at, okay? So this is huge because you can add all of these custom fields in here. You can make it, you can build this out however you want it. Once this is all built out for you, now you have reporting, which is a really big deal. So if I go into account and I go to import export, I could go to export Excel. And now when I click on matter, I can include to export out these custom fields. So this is going to give you the ability to some extent to kind of build what type of report you're looking for. You can go in, you can create those custom fields here. You can assign those to the clients, the matters, the contacts, the matter groups, etc. And these can be built out however you want. When you add a custom field, you can designate what you want this to be. Do you want this to be a drop down? Do you want this to be a text area, a single line, a number, a date range, a currency? What options do you want to give your end user when they're in there selecting this and filling out this field? So this is a super beneficial because you can essentially now create a report that's going to spit out what you need because you built those custom fields, and there's a way to export those into into an Excel sheet to where now you can filter and you can get some form of reporting on. So this is super fantastic. If anybody has been working in TimeSolv for any length of time, the number one question we get is, when are we going to have some way to create some form of custom reports? And this is it, guys. This is where you're wanting to go. Again, just like with the TimeSolv Pay, if you need help building this, you want somebody to come in and maybe overview it, you can contact us at support@timesolv.com and we'll be more than happy to set up a meeting and assist you with that. Also, don't forget that your account rep at timesolv.com, whoever your dedicated account manager is, they're there to best guide you on best practices. And, this might be a good opportunity, a good place for you guys to look at creating some fields in the system that you report on that can make you a little bit more transparent in your reporting. You could even potentially, if you wanted to do this, set this up based on the type of law that you're doing. You could even do that. There's so much stuff that you could do because these are totally custom. So you pick and choose the information you want in there. Again, how do we get there? We go to clients and we go down to settings. And then over here, it says custom fields. And this is where you're going to build those out. There is 4 different levels. So you can build that out on the client level, the contact level, the matter level, and the matter groups. I just recently went through this with another firm who needed to have the time zone available on the contact. And we set this up so they could put in the time zone. So when their people are calling people, they're able to ensure that they're calling at a reasonable time of day. Bear with me just 1 minute. I'm going to take a sip of my tea. I have a sore throat today. So give me just 1 second. All right, so I'm back. So we went over TimeSolv Pay, and I did touch on the zero AR and how that can help you increase your revenue inside your firm because you have the ability to auto collect on open invoices. And then I did want to go over this custom fields, and I've showed you that you can build these out on the client contact matter or matter group levels. You can assign those, and then you're able to, when you go into account, import, export, you can export those out here. And I'm just going to run one of these. I hadn't actually ran one yet. This is a brand new feature that's just came out, but this will run into a CSV file. So it will run into a Excel worksheet. And bear with me 1 second. So here it is. And your custom fields, I believe, should be right here at the back. You can see them right here. There's that location field that I just put in. Once you run anything into CSV, it's great too, because once it's in CSV, you can add filters right here. And you can filter on like location or whatever. And then you'll see we also have the real estate one right here and the consultant one right here. So this is really great. And it would be also, you know what this would be really good for? Just thinking about it is if you wanted to have in like referrals, like if one of your clients referred somebody, you could put that in there. If you like paid a bounty on that or something, that'd be super, super cool. So anyways, that is available and everybody can, you know, set up a meeting or go in there and play with it. You can always take it out if you don't like it, and we can assist you with that. Okay. So I guess the third thing I'm just going to go over real quick. I don't know if anybody is aware of this, so we're just going to touch base on this. If you go to time and time entry screen, at the top left here, we have where it says time entry, and the next box over says analytics. A lot of people don't see this box, and that's because it is kind of grayed out. And it is a new feature inside TimeSolv. If you haven't checked it out, I encourage you to do so. So if you're in your TimeSolv account, once you're on the time entry screen, if you click on this analytics box, it's going to take you to a whole page with all kinds of valuable information. And again, at the top, you can sort by your staff member. You can put a date range in. So you could do like all of last year. This is going to be super handy with the end of the year coming up, or all of this year or whatever. You can see who your top clients are, how much has been billed, how much has been worked, how many hours has been worked, the average rate, what was unbilled, your targets. All of that is going to be broken down up here in this analytics box. We can tie this analytics back to other reports as well directly in this system. So wanted to just show that to you guys real quick, because end of the year is coming and everybody's going to be asking about these reports. So I just kind of wanted to touch base on some of the better ways to get some of these end of the year reports that you're all going to need. So this is one place that you can go to grab a lot of information. The next place is under reports. Here, when you go to your reports, if anybody hasn't looked at, bear with me 1 second, firm performance report right here. This firm performance report can be run for like a year-end date range. And this is a super fabulous report to be able to pull information regarding what's happened over the year. I wanted to touch base with you with this because this is the report that a lot of people are going to be looking at now that we're coming towards the end of the year. So you can run this report and you can get very specific information regarding how the firm is doing and just lump sum totals for the time throughout the year. Let me pull that over here. So you can see on this firm performance report, I have a total of 150 active clients. I have 208 billable matters. I have 10 non-billable matters. So this 208 would be including inactive clients as well. And I generated 128 8 invoices, and that's over this time period that's up here to the right. By the way, when you're inside TimeSolv and you do run a report, the criteria that you ran that report on will always be in the top right if you're in a PDF. So it's going to show you your total hours worked, billed, your total fees worked and billed, your total expenses, your payments, what you have for unallocated payments from trust, allocated payments, any kind of credits, write-offs, or refunds. And then it's going to show your AR. But guess what? If you're running 0 AR, that should always be 0. So yeah, so there's that. So this firm performance report is a really good report to run to get an idea of how the firm is done over the past year. We are coming up on year-end stuff. So, I thought maybe it would be great to go over some of this year-end reporting. One of the things to remember with some of these reports, especially like this firm performance report, something that throws people out of whack from time to time is like your total hours worked and then the total hours billed. Something that throws people out of whack and something to keep in mind when you're running these types of reports is you might have worked so many hours in January, but likely what you're billing in January is work that was done in December. So that is going to play an effect on how these reports work. So if you have any questions regarding your reports, you're not understanding them, try and think of what you're asking the system to return and how it could be possibly not exactly what you think it is, because I've ran into that many, many times. So this is one good report that can be used, as well as that analytics tool on the time entry screen right here. And these can be set up for you to try and get some really good end of year reporting. So this covers, like, I'm like way early. Not sure how I got gone through all this in just a half an hour, but it does cover all of the things I wanted to cover in today's webinar. I wanted to go over the TimeSolv Pay 0 AR custom fields, how to export those, as well as end of year reporting. So I'm going to open up the floor now and ask you guys, does anybody have any questions about anything I showed you today? Is there anything that I can further, any questions I can further answer, I mean? So it doesn't look like anybody has any questions. I'm going to let you know that we are offering, oh wait, there's something, sorry. Okay. Great. I am so great to hear that, Jeff. I'm sorry if I went a little bit fast today. Just a forewarning that I'm not feeling the best. I've had a really bad cold for like the last 2 weeks. So I am not feeling as much or as well as I normally do. Yeah, there's a lot of features inside TimeSolv. I do want to remind everybody that you have a dedicated account manager at TimeSolv. If you ever have any questions regarding anything you see inside TimeSolv, you should 100% reach out to your dedicated account manager. They can answer any questions. They can give you training, not to you, but just to even your support staff or anybody that you may hire. We always have that available. Another thing, I think I want to show you this as well, because this is kind of one more thing. In the top right-hand corner, you see where it says help right here. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, there's also the chat bubble. So if you had a question that you needed answered that you thought could be answered quickly, you could always click on this chat bubble in the bottom right-hand corner. At the top right, this help button, when you click that, it takes you into the knowledge base here. And on this screen, you can always sign up for training by clicking on the training schedule. And you can see all the training classes that are available here. And it does not matter how long you've been with TimeSolv. All of these classes are available for anybody that wants to attend them. If you hire a new employee, you can send them here and they can attend them. This is also how you register for the weekly webinar, which is once a month with me. But this is where you would attend these classes, okay? The other thing is bear with me just one second. There's a lot of available information on this page, even videos. So if there was something you didn't know how to do and maybe didn't want to reach out to support, you could always come in here and watch these videos. These videos give you pretty much how to do anything in this system, and you can search for those. So that's right inside TimeSolv. You would just click the help button and it would take you to the knowledge base. Also, if you are on our homepage, timesolv.com, once you get here, in the top right, it says resources, and you can go to our blog here. We also have latest news and events, the podcast, and the resource library. This blog is going to give you anything that we've put out recently. Actually, I'll give you an old stuff we put out. And this is like the tip of the week right here. And recent tips of the week. So yeah, so there's a lot of information out there. So if you, and you can even subscribe to the blog. If you're not subscribed, I recommend doing that. And then you will get an email with the like the tip of the week that comes out once a week. It's like a 1-minute read and gives you a lot of information. This is where we roll out a lot of like our new features in the system. So it's a really great resource to be able to go in here and get these. Does TimeSolv have a payment method to request features similar, payment method request, features similar to the Law Pay Card Vault? No, I apologize. We do not. So basically, again, we would help you. We have some sample engagement letters that you could be sent out, and they would fill out their payment information on that. And then when they would return their payment information, you would come into TimeSolv and you would input into the system right here under payment settings that payment information. So it would be on file, it would be saved in the system, and then you could shred that document. But I do not have a place where the end user, the client, could come into the system and put that payment information in for you. Okay. But I will let everybody know that we are going to be having some really awesome features roll out very soon inside TimeSolv. I'm really excited about them. We're going to be having a feature that will allow a client portal that will allow you to pass documents to your client and even accept e-signatures right in the system. So you won't have to like have DocuSign or something like that. TimeSolv will have that available right inside TimeSolv. We have a lot of new things coming out around the corner. So guys, does anybody else have any questions today? All right. Well, if there is no further questions, I apologize for me being a little under the weather today. Throat hurts and I've been coughing terribly. If nobody else has any other questions, I'm going to end the webinar. I look forward to everybody signing up for the January webinar. We should have a lot of new features available in January that we'll be going over. So I look forward to talking to everybody in January, and I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas holiday. From here at TimeSolv, everybody at TimeSolv wishes you all the best. So everybody have a great day. Thank you.